Marijuana is a drug. They say it's a soft drug, as they would label it. But now they have legalized it, and they're now faced with the situation, okay, we have legalized it, but we have people in prison for using it, so what do we do? And it is believed that now, once the state of Colorado has approved it, that other states will follow suit, and other states are already discussing it. And they're simply deciding, well, let's just give it to the people. So you have a drug that intoxicates people. And they'll be able to buy it on the government-approved locations. He goes on to number 3. Solomon's searching for meaning. In number 3, he says, I will undertake great projects. Houses and vineyards and gardens and parks. I will build things. I will build buildings and houses. I will build gardens. And if you've read any of Solomon's life, there's a lot of history in the Bible about Solomon's life. You'll read of his accomplishments in these areas. He built mansions and gardens and thinking this will bring me meaningfulness. This will bring me satisfaction. This will bring me significance if I can build a huge complex. I can step back when it is all finished and be satisfied, be happy, looking at that bringing meaningfulness to me. But when he had finished all of his projects, he stepped back and his life was still empty. Meaningless, still having not been accomplished. In number 4, he says, I will amass silver and gold for myself. Now this, of course, is money. Money is the answer. Money will bring me significance. Money will bring me contentment. Money, if I can just have enough money. You know, one of the hardest subjects for we as pastors to preach on in a service is the subject of tithes. And oftentimes we as pastors are sitting around and we may ask each other, when is the last time you preached a sermon on giving and tithes? And I can't remember. Because no one wants you to talk about their money. It's my money. You start talking about tithes in worships in church. You watch the ladies, they'll get a hold of their purse and they'll pull their purse a little bit closer. And the man will check his wallet and make sure it's still there. Gets uncomfortable. You're talking about money here. And Solomon, I think most of us know, Solomon was the richest man living at his time. There was no one richer than him. Gold and silver amassed it. And whatever money could buy, he had enough. He had enough money to buy it, no matter what it was. And there's no doubt he did. We read his life. He used his money. He purchased whatever it was that he felt he needed, or if he just wanted it. You know, there is a certain ugly dissatisfaction that's oftentimes found within us. No matter how much we have, we want more. Have you talked to anyone lately who says to you, I've got enough money? You know, if you have, that is a very rare person. I've got enough money, I don't need any more money. You do not find Very many who would make that kind of statement. Oh, if I can just make a little more. How much is a little more? Well, a little more. My house is just a little too small. My car is just a little too old. I just need a little more. And of course, we never get a little more. Oh, we get more, but we want more. You know, I don't think God cares at all how much money you have. He doesn't care. He owns it anyway, so he really doesn't care. But he does care how you look at your money. Does your money possess you? Do you have to have it? Do you hold from God what belongs to him in money form? Have you paid your 10%? There, Brother Jerry goes. Well, you know, I can't pay God his tithes because I've got so many bills. Okay. Let me tell you, if you don't pay your tithes, you're going to have more bills. You're going to have less money to pay your bills, and your bills are going to get bigger. You'll suddenly have a doctor bill that you didn't expect. You'll have an expense of some kind that suddenly it's there. And I didn't mean to preach on tithes. That's your job. Money, money, money. He had it. He had the gold, and yet he could not find what it was he could buy to bring a meaningful reason into his life. His search continues in number 5, and this is directly from this chapter 2. In number 5, he says, I will acquire singers, music to merry my heart, music to entertain me. Music. We know how important music is in the church world, how music brings us right into the throne room of God in worship. Music is so very important. And Solomon knew something about the importance of music, and he decided that it was music that he needed to bring into his life, and he brought in the best of singers that he could find, and probably every instrument to play for him, sing to him. With the purpose of finding some kind of meaningful existence. Number 6, a harem. Women. The delights of the heart of man. That's taken right out of this chapter. Sometimes we get amused when we read of Solomon, where it says that he had 700 wives. My word. 700 wives? I've got one. And I will have to be careful what I say because she's not here. But I don't need to. I don't know what I would do with 2. I have one. And I can tell you, she brings fulfillment into my life. That's all I need is one. Solomon had 700, and if that was not enough, he brought in seconds. We know what seconds are. Deba? We have a wife, we have a second, we have a third, we have seconds? They were called concubines. That's a strange word, concubines. And he had 300 of those. I don't know what they were supposed to do. He already had these 700 wives. You know, there's only 365 days in a year.